Hey everybody, I just wanted to do a video to show you the best way to access these new Hyperdocs and then how to use them. So they're going to be in classwork. They're lighter right now because they've not been assigned yet. They'll be assigned next week. So when you click on them, for example, the mood project, it'll come up. You just select this link here, and I actually already have them pulled up at the top of my screen. So the first one will be compare and contrast. This first slide just tells you what the lesson's going to be about. This just tells you the standard and a few things like that. For the two explore slides, so this one and the next one, we're actually already really good at comparing and contrasting. So these are just quick review videos, and then the anchor chart is the same on both. It just gives you some words to use when you're comparing and contrasting. The explain slide is where you're going to start doing some work, and this will be the same for all of them. Now, you have some choices here. You can choose to explain how and why we compare and contrast just by typing in this text box. You can choose to do a Flipgrid or a book creator also. So I'm going to walk you through those. With this Flipgrid, you're just going to push on it, and it's going to take you to flipgrid.com. And of course, it's not working. Let's try again. No big deal. When we click on it, it's going to give us a link. Let's try Book Creator first. So you're going to sign in, and Book Creator is the one that I'm a little hesitant about. I'm not 100% sure how it's going to work at home, but that's why I've given you lots of options. If it doesn't work, just pick something else. So the kids have done Book Creator a lot. You'll just push New Book, choose your size, and then you can get started adding text and pictures. And remember, you're explaining how and why we compare and contrast. So let's try Flipgrid again. Maybe it'll work this time. Good. Okay, so you're going to log in with Google, and it should come up with your child's Google account. I'm going to choose mine. Mine might look slightly different. It's okay, we'll try one more time. Mine might look slightly different because I'm the teacher, but we'll just have to go with that. Okay, it worked this time. Good. Okay, this is the compare and contrast Flipgrid. And Flipgrid, you make a video. I think a lot of kids have used it before. We have not used it in my classroom this year, but it's very easy to use, so I'm confident that you can figure it out. All you do is push this big plus sign. That's it, and you're going to see my video here in just a second. There I am. So you can record yourself explaining how and why we compare and contrast. Then you can add any of these other stickers or text or whatever you want, and then you'll submit it, and I will be able to see that. And then you go back to your Hyperdoc. So now we're going to apply it. And I know you've already done this Venn diagram before. This is just putting it in a different format so you can see it in a different way, get your brain thinking in a little different way. Anytime you see this hand with a pen, that means you're going to type here. And there are already text boxes on this Venn diagram for you. You just double click and then you can type. For sharing, you're going to share which story you liked more and why. Don't forget the why part. And then for reflecting, you're going to give us some other examples of series of books that you can compare and contrast. So that's what our compare and contrast Hyperdoc looks like. I'd also like to show you this one for math. It just looks a little different to start, but it's still the same idea. We're going to do a warm-up task, and this should be a quarter right here. I put that picture in, and it's not showing up. So this is a Sacagawea coin. You don't need to use that. It should be a quarter. The kids don't know about Sacagawea coins. Watch the video to review how to add decimals. We've been doing this for several weeks, and you're pretty good at it by now. And this is the part where you're going to apply. So the project is that you can choose anything you want for lunch from Mitchell's. You can see the menu here by clicking on the picture and then the link. It will take you to the menu. Or you can click on the word here and it will take you to the same website. Now, the problem I ran into is that, this menu doesn't have prices. How are you supposed to add it all up? Well, that's where the Google Slides comes in. So you push this, it'll give you a link, and I have it pulled up already, to the Google Slide presentation where I have added all of the pictures with the costs. So just so you know, Mitchell's has two sizes of most of their things. The smaller 10-inch size is the lower priced, and the bigger 12-inch size is the higher price, just so you know when you're adding prices together. So you can look through here, decide what you want, and then you're going to add what you'd like on your own guest check. So I decided I wanted nachos and a quesadilla. $3.50 plus $3 is $6.50. So that's all that project is. Again, very simple. We're just reviewing. It's just in a different format. I wanted to try some new things, so we're going to do it. The next one is mood, and again, it looks very similar. It's got all of the same slides. Each one is just a little different. Again, for explore, you can choose which one you'd like to do. This is a video. Again, the anchor chart is the same. This brain pop activity is actually pretty fun. That's the one I'd recommend, although this is a good video as well. For explaining, you can use any of these 3 resources again. You're just going to explain what the mood of this video is after you watch Pharrell's video. You can type, you can do Flipgrid or Book Creator. And again, you just push on those and the link will come up below. For apply, I'd like you to read this paragraph and then determine what the mood is. So if it's a happy mood, you'll type happy here. If it's a sad mood, you'll type sad, whatever you think it is. The next part is to highlight the words that help create the mood. So if you think the word the helps create the mood, you'll highlight it and then change the highlight to yellow. You can choose whatever color. Obviously, it's not the word the, I'm just giving an example. And then for the last step down here, I would like you to rewrite this story. So same basic storyline. I just like you to change some of the words so that it's a different mood. If you think the mood up here is happy, how can we change it down here to a mood that is sad? And then for sharing, you're going to share what mood you think this video has and why. The dot is a great story. And then you're going to reflect. You're going to rate yourself on how you feel your level of knowledge is with mood. FIST to 5, we do this in the classroom all the time. FIST is what is mood? And 5 is I know what it is and can explain it to others. Our next one is 3D shapes. Again, it looks pretty much the same. We've got these explore slides, a couple videos you can watch. Explain, you're going to explain what shape you think this is, and then tell about its properties. And you can do that by typing or Flipgrid, no book reader this time. For applying, you're going to compare and contrast these 2 shapes based on their properties, and that's on the next slide. So for example, this one has rectangular faces, this one has square faces, but they both have 6 flat faces. So that's just an example. You'll have to come up with others. You're going to share a real life example of a 3D shape. So for example, the roof on my house is a triangular prism. I might talk about its properties such as its faces or vertices. And then for reflecting, we're going to do a 3-2-1. 3 things you learned, 2 things you already knew, and 1 question you still have. Again, this is new, but it's all content area that we have talked a lot about. So that part should be not too much of a challenge. Obviously, if you need help, I'm here to help you. Please reach out if you're